Hello. Today we're going to talk about English only in class. How much L1 do you use as an English teacher? Why? Which factors make it difficult to establish an English only policy in class? Why is it important to re-examine what we believe in? We invite you to pause the video right now and write down your answers. Let's understand the belief cycle. The amount of belief you have determines the amount of potential you tap into. The amount of potential you have determines the amount of action you take. The amount of action you take determines the results you get. And the results you get determine your belief that something can change. Complaining without acting is worthless. Learners won't start using English if we don't implement the changes needed. These are some steps for an English-only instruction. Start from scratch. If we wait until the second week of classes, for instance, the students will already have spent a week establishing an environment in Portuguese, and it will take much longer to bring them round. A useful tool International School has prepared to help teachers with this is the Back to School booklet, which contains a series of activities and lesson plans to help implementing an English-only approach from the very first lesson. It is available online. Have clear rules and expectations regarding L1 use. Learners need to know what is expected from them in terms of L1 use. If they are worried and anxious about what will happen next, they will not be able to learn effectively. Give positive reinforcement for speaking English. You can use assessment charts to give positive reinforcement and get students to self-assess on their own use of L2 in class. Another idea is to limit the amount of Portuguese they can use in class, giving each student, for example, 5 paper clips, and that's the amount of Portuguese they can use in class. Teach classroom language early. Again, the Back to School booklet is a tool the teachers can use to help them introduce classroom language to students. Practice and encourage all common classroom requests. Students may feel reluctant at first to use English requests among themselves, but you must insist they do it, with you and also with classmates. A lot of L1 chatter is actually functional requests, like asking to borrow something, checking the meaning of a word, for example. Pre-teach useful language before pair or group activities. Providing all the language they need before an activity gives the learners the opportunity to stretch themselves a bit in English. Give clear instructions. This is very important. These are 6 steps to giving clear instructions. Create silence and make sure students are listening before you start. Use short, simple, and clear language. Don't explain what students don't need to know at this point. Demonstrate, rather than explain, instructions before worksheets and before pairing them up. Check their understanding. Give prompts and thinking time. You can give them prompts like these ones in the speech bubbles, or you can even elicit the prompts from the students. This step can help learners feel more confident. Keep learners engaged. Maintain a good pace. Provide a variety of activities. Set consistent time limits for tasks and activities. Use a variety of resources and materials. Your creativity is the limit. This is a checklist to bear in mind. Always present yourself as an English speaker, not a native speaker, right from the start. Resist the temptation to lapse into L1 to explain, regain control, or reply to a question. Patiently reply in English. Don't be tempted to slow down too much. Speak naturally but clearly. You may feel put off when they call to each other in L1. What's the teacher saying? Plan instructions carefully. Use pictures, gesture, facial expression, and rephrasing to get your message across. Lapsing into quick explanations in L1 will undermine your role. Tuning in will take time. Keep at it. Offer plenty of repetition and review. We all know practice makes perfect. So, the more they repeat classroom language, classroom requests, the more willing they will be to use that kind of language in the classroom. Develop a strong, open, and caring relationship toward each of your students, and in turn, they will strive to be the best students possible. Thank you.